All right, let's break this down in a way that actually sounds like two humans talking, and not a C-SPAN transcript read by a robot. What you're really watching when Kash Patel and Senator Dick Durbin clash over Trump's January 6 pardons isn't just a disagreement about one event. It's a full-blown culture war argument about power, punishment, loyalty, and who gets to decide what justice even means in America and more. This exchange is political theater, sure, but it's also revealing, very revealing. On one side, you've got Dick Durbin, Democratic senator, institutional lifer, an embodiment of the system must be protected at all costs mindset. Durbin speaks of the view that January 6 was an existential threat to democracy itself, a near-apocalyptic moment that requires severe consequences to prevent it from ever happening again. On the other side sits Kash Patel, Trump loyalist, former national security official, and walking middle finger to the D.C. establishment. Patel doesn't just defend Trump's pardons. He questions the entire moral authority of the people condemning them. So this isn't just an argument about whether Trump should pardon January 6 defendants. It's about who gets mercy, who gets crushed, and who gets to rewrite history. Durbin's position is clean, simple, and emotionally loaded, and that's not accidental. His argument boils down to this. January 6 was a violent insurrection. It was aimed at overturning a lawful election. People who participated deserve punishment, not forgiveness. Pardoning them sends a dangerous signal that political violence is acceptable. From Durbin's point of view, Trump issuing pardons isn't just controversial, it's reckless. He frames it as betrayal of democratic norms and an insult to law enforcement officers who were injured that day. And here's the key thing. Durbin isn't really talking to Patel. He's talking to the public, to history, and to future prosecutors. This is legacy language. This is how will this sound in a textbook language. Kash Patel's counterpunch. Selective outrage and weaponized justice. Patel doesn't play Durbin's game. He doesn't accept the premise that January 6 was uniquely evil or that the government acted in good faith afterward. Instead, he flips the script. His argument looks more like this. The justice system was weaponized against political opponents. January 6 defendants were overcharged, overpunished, and used as examples. Peaceful protesters were lumped in with violent actors. The same people crying about rule of law ignored riots, chaos, and destruction elsewhere. Patel's real accusation isn't that Durbin is wrong. It's that Durbin is dishonest. Dishonest about proportionality. Dishonest about precedent. Dishonest about how mercy is applied in American politics. And that's where the exchange gets spicy. The unspoken issue. Pardons are ugly. Until your guy uses them, here's the uncomfortable truth neither side wants to dwell on too long. Presidential pardons are always controversial. They always look bad. They always feel unfair. Obama did it. Clinton did it. Biden has done it quietly. Trump does it loudly and shamelessly. Durbin acts as though Trump's pardons are uniquely immoral. But Patel points out, implicitly and sometimes explicitly, that outrage over pardons tends to depend heavily on who's holding the pen. When your team does it, it's compassion. When the other team does it, it's corruption. That hypocrisy hangs over the entire exchange like a bad smell no one wants to acknowledge. One of the most important dynamics here is that January 6 has become sacralized in American politics. For Democrats and establishment Republicans, it's treated almost like a holy trauma, something beyond debate, beyond nuance, beyond comparison. Patel challenges that. And that's why Durbin reacts so strongly. Because once you allow comparison, to BLM riots, to federal overreach, to prosecutorial abuse, the moral clarity starts to crack. Patel isn't saying January 6 was good. He's saying it's being used. Used to justify surveillance, censorship, harsh sentencing, expanded federal power. That's a deeply threatening argument to someone like Durbin, whose entire worldview depends on trusting institutions. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think or what you want to see next.